Welcome to
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Welcome.
Dhanyavad. All goes to Prabhupada.
Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference. So today's class will be given by His Grace Pran Govinda Prabhuji on the topic of Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Lila, and chapter 24, verse number 143 onwards. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving us your valuable time and association this morning. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. You can please accept my humble obeisances and please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mata and the audience, devotees. So before I begin, I would like to invoke the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, Srivas Prabhu, and as Srila Prabhupada mentioned how to recite, we evoke our submission towards the lotus feet by uttering these beautiful prayers. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Binda. Atma Rameti Paddakarshad Tang Sunu Ja Prakashayan Jagattamo Jaharabhat Sa Chaitanya Dayachala. So this is the beginning of this chapter began. Before began, I pay my humble obeisances to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. To invoke their mercy, we recite these prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namo Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataruvescha Kripa Sindhubhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Namo Mahabadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namo Gambhijyam Bhudi Koti Madhurimani Sudakshira Madhuki Koti Gauradeva Sajiyata Pranaya Rasapade Darshita Shadja Koti He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindaye Tulsi Devaye Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pravade Devi Sattavati Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Bindu Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are serving Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 143 and onwards. There are few key points in this chapter. So just to begin with this, that how beautiful characteristics and quality of Krishna that attracts even to those are looking for jnana, yoga, whatever intention they are being attracted. So with that note, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explaining this to Sanatana Goswami, and he passed so many nice descriptions, finally came to 143. The sloka goes, Bhakti Mukti Paileha Avashya Krishnere Bhajai, just one line. Srila Prabhupada translation, when one is actually liberated by executing devotional service, he always engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So when one is actually liberated by executing devotional service, he always engages in transcendental loving service of the Lord. Then, next verse, we go to a point where Prabhupada gave a purport. Mukta pi lilaya vigraham kritta bhagavantam bhajante. Even a liberated soul, merged in the impersonal Brahman, effulgence, is attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. He does install a deity, renders the devotional service. Then text, purport. This is a quotation from Shankaracharya's commentary on Nishinga Tapani Upanishad. Text 145. Ei chai atmaram krishnere bhajai pithak pithak chakareha opir arthakai. These 6 kinds of atmaramas engage in the loving service of Krishna. The varieties of service are indicated by adding cha, and they also bear the meaning of api indeed. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. There are 6 kinds of atmaramas the neophyte, sadhaka, student, who is absorbed in Brahman realization, Brahmana. One who has already attained the Brahman position, Prapta Brahmalaya. One who desires to be liberated, Mumukshu. One who is liberated even in this life, Jivan Mukta. One who is self-realized, Prapta Swarup. Beautiful. 146. Atma Ramascha Apoe Kare Krishna Hetuki Bhakti Munaya Santa Iti Krishna Manane Ashakti. The 6 kind of Atma Ramas render devotional service to Krishna without ulterior motives. The words Munaya and Santa indicate those who are very attached to meditating upon Krishna. Text 147. Nirganta abiddahin keho vidihin jahaje yukta se artheravadin. The word nirganta means without ignorance, devoid of all of rules and regulations. Whichever meaning fits may be applied. Cha sabde kari jodi itaretar artha ar ek artha kahe parama samartha. These are beautiful. By using the word cha in different places, there are different meanings. Over and above them, there is another meaning that is very important. What is it? Atma Ramascha Karibara Chai Pancha Atma Ram Chai Chakare Lukta Hai. Although the words Atma Ramascha would be repeated 6 times, simply by adding the word cha, 5 Atma Ramas are deleted. Now you have to be, I'm sure you all are familiar with the origin verse, Atma Ramascha Munaya. Then you think of this explanation, it makes complete, beautiful painting. See where we are going with this. It's beautiful. Ek Atmaram Sabda Avashesha Rahe, Ek Atmaram Sabde Chai Jan Nahe Kahe. Therefore, there is no need to repeat the word Atmaram. One is sufficient. That one word indicates 6 persons. Shorupanam eka shesha eka vibhaktau uttarthanam prayagaha ramascha 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 rama iti vat. Of words having the same form and case termination, the last one is only one retained. For example, the word Rama is used to stand for Ramascha, 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 etc. These are Vyakaranam with the Alankar, ornaments, how to word it, to identify the Lord's special features, quality. This is a quotation from Panini Sutras 1.2.64. Tabe je chakar se samuchay kai atmaramascha munayascha krishnere bhajai. By the aggregate use of the word cha, it is indicated that all the atmaramas and saints serve and worship Krishna. Nirgantaopir eyopi sambhavane e sat artha prathame korilo vaikhane. Opi added to the word nirganta is used for exposition. Thus I have tried to clarify the 7 types of meaning. Antarjami upasak atmarama kai, sei atmarama jogi dui bheda hai. The yogi who worships the super soul within himself is also called atmarama. There are 2 types of atmarama yogi. Now this is the repetition, so we'll end with the next one. It has a Prabhupada's purport. Clarifying, yes. Sagarbha, Nigarbha, ei dui এই হয় দুই ভেদ, এক এক তিন ভেদে ছয় বিভেদ. The two Atmarama yogis are called Sagarbha and Nigarbha. Each of these is divided into three. Therefore, there are 6 types of worshipper of the super soul. The word Sagarbha yogi refers to a yogi who worship the super soul in the Vishnu form. The Nigarbha yogi worship the super soul without form. And the Sagarbha and Nigarbha yogis are further categorized. 1. Sagarbha Jogarurukshu, Nigarbha Jogarurukshu, Sagarbha Jogarudha, Nigarbha Jogarudha, Sagarbha Prapta Siddhi, Nigarbha Prapta Siddhi. Okay, let's discuss this up to this and then we can go further. First of all, this yes, on 156, where we ended with this, Kechit Sadehantara Hridaya Avakase Pradesha Matram Purusham Vasantam Chaturbhujam Kanja Rathanga Shankha Gadadharam Dharanaya Smaranti. Some yogis think of the Lord within their heart as a measuring about 6 inches. But Prabhupada put it, actually another place Prabhupada put it 8 inches. The Lord has 4 hands in which he holds a conch shell, club, disc, and lotus flower. Those who worship this form of Vishnu within the heart are called Sagarbha yogis. Okay. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Samasta Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarvesya kripa sindhuvevacha. Paditanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Chaitanya Charitamrta ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So here, on this conclusion, a few verses given, some yogis think of the Lord within their heart as measuring about 6 inches. The Lord has 4 hands in which he holds a conch shell, club, disc, and lotus flower. Those who worship this form of Vishnu within the heart are called Sagarbha yogis. Of course, this verse, Srila Prabhupada explains, is from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.8. So now we can see how the others conceive of the personality of Godhead residing within the body in the region of the heart, and measuring only 8 inches within 4 hands, carrying a lotus, a wheel of a chariot, a conch shell, and a club, respectively. Now, is this superior to the universal form? In Bhagavatam, one place it explains, yes. Who are they meditating? Who is in the heart? Krishna says the famous verse in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Ridi Sannivisto Matta Smriti Gyana Apanancha Vedesya Sarve Rahameva Vedda Vedanta Krichaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. That Krishna himself is speaking to Arjuna. And from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am knower of the Vedas. So here we see that Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Super Soul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotees. What does he do for the devotees? He cleanses desire for material enjoyment. Just like we need help from Krishna, Krishna also need help from us. So Krishna says, Kirtaniya Sadahari, you chant. So when we chant, so Krishna also helping, we are helping to follow his order. We are helping, he wants to distribute Krishna consciousness. We are doing that. And Krishna is also helping. So how it works? He is sitting in the heart as a benefactor of the truthful devotees. He cleanses our desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees who has developed the urge to hear his message. So you all are fortunate because in that verse, the Sinnata Sakata Krishna Punna Sravana Kirtana, that when you show your eagerness to hear about Krishna, that time Krishna is cleaning your heart. If you are not paying attention to hear, if you are not interested to hear about Krishna, Krishna is not cleaning. So this is the key point in this verse. One who, say some of us has developed eagerness to hear about Krishna more and more. And we find these are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Now if we hear about Bhagavan, what will happen? If we hear about Bhagavan without Paramatma, like Jnanis they do, well, Bhagavatam says, one who worships the deity of Godhead in the temple, but does not know that the same Supreme Lord as Super Soul is situated in every living entity's heart. What Krishna says here, their ignorance. So we love Krishna in our temple, in our house, or in my heart, because this body is also temple. Your house is a temple. And there is a common worshipping place called temple. Temple, many definition of temples. So when you are in your heart, you are worshipping Krishna, or in your house, you are worshipping Krishna, but you are not seeing same Krishna in others' heart, and you are not developing a loving relation of respecting them, that they are the abode where Krishna reside, then we should consider ourselves as ignorance. And Bhagavatam is very sharply explained that this kind of ignorance is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes. Means useless. Sometimes, I'm not trying to discourage, but sometimes when we ask that question, that we are trying to develop Krishna consciousness, and we are working very hard, but we don't feel much effect within us. After so many decades, I'm still like struggling. Well, there is the key. Have you developed? The proportion to our attachment to Krishna, it will create a separation feeling, which will create a detachment from this material attachment. At that time, we will start seeing the same Lord in the heart of other beings, and we respecting them. So first thing first, we should develop an attachment to Guru Krishna. And proportion to attachment, there will be a feeling, separation feeling from them. Extreme feeling is there, like Mother Yashoda, 20 feet from Krishna, she is cooking. Mother Rohini Maya saw her crying, and she said, "Why are you crying, Yashoda?" Said, "I miss my son." Said, "You can see through the window, he's just playing there." Said, "I know, I miss him." Of course, that is very extreme, because they are in that deep emotional ties with the Lord. But for us, we need to at least try to have a loving relationship amongst the devotees. Then it will help us quickly develop love for the Lord within the heart, within the temple of our heart. Because in the beginning, Guru, what Supreme Lord that he is worshipping in the heart, is engaging his disciple to in this service, and by the mercy of Guru, he progresses and he feels it. And here we see that there is 4 types of yogis. They meditate. First types of yogi, that as Prabhupada mentioned here, the first type, they meditate on life air and the mind without using the form of the Lord. This is not approved by Bhagavatam, but there are some yogi, they meditate. The second type of yogi, they become purified by meditation in universal form. When we cannot focus our intelligence, engage our intelligence in bhakti, to stay in bhakti and to focus on Krishna consciousness, then we can meditate on universal form. You see, everything around you is all connected with Krishna, different part of the universal form. When you see the sun, sun is the eye of the Lord, moon is the eye of the Lord. You see like this, that you connect everything, and this way intelligence becomes purified to absorb on the super soul and then to Krishna. Third types, they meditating on universal form, meditate on Besti Virat. And then they think Lord in a 4-handed form, Chaturbhuja form, in the heart. And the 4 types, us, Bhakti Yogi. In Bhagavatam it says, Minala Gorattaya Shesha Bhoga Arjanna Ekam Purusham Shayanam Pana Atapatra Juta Muddharatna Bhuvi Hato Dhanto Juganto Toye. Brahma could see that on the water there was a gigantic lotus-like white bedstead, the body of Sheshanag, on which the personality of Godhead was lying alone. The whole atmosphere was illuminated by the rays of jewels bedded. And Brahmaji sees this, meditate. Through samadhi, means in meditation he sees this. So, you may question, who has the eligibility to meditate like this? Unless the gross materialist develops a sense of loving service unto the Supreme Lord, the seer of both the transcendental and material worlds, he should remember or meditate upon the universal form of the Lord at the end of his prescribed duties. Jarabharat, when he was a king, previous life, he saw the mentality of the citizen and he engaged them by their is the sound, it's okay? I think the sound is making a lot of noise here. Let's see. Okay. Those are too engrossed in sense gratification cannot be allowed to participate in deity or to touch the transcendental form of Radha Krishna. For them it is better, Bhagavatam suggests, to meditate upon the gigantic Virat Rupa, universal form of the Lord. That's why in 2nd canto you'll see there's 3 places universal form is promoted. Even all the way to 10th canto, Mother Yashoda saw universal form in the mouth of Krishna, because it is originally there within Krishna. And there is a progression is given. How do you meditate? That you practice, concentrate on the limbs long enough that process to the, you first like take a picture and contemplate on it. Then next is intelligence gradually purifies. You can repeatedly meditate on each limbs of the Lord. Like when you go to temple or in your deity, look at it. You may say, oh, this is a tiny feet of brass made. No, you have a conception of Krishna and then meditate on that. Don't look at just, oh, this is a brass. This is actually transcendental form. The lotus feet of the Lord, and then slowly you go all the way to the smiling face. After the lotus feet, then the cups, then the thighs, in this way higher and higher. But stay, when you come to the face, stay fixed on face. Don't move. Don't go above. This is how Bhagavatam explains. And is it necessary? Yes, it is necessary, Bhagavatam says, because we don't know who is coming from where. To include everybody in Bhakti Yoga, they have to gradually process. Of course, chanting Hare Krishna is the biggest help. And the Sadhu Sangha, these two are the most prominent. Damodar Kartik month is beginning from next week. No, this weekend. We should take advantage of it. And when we understand this, the importance of meditation, the Bhagavad Gita raises our consciousness. This Chaitanya Charitamrta, this conversation, it raises our consciousness from the material Jagat to the living entity's consciousness position to Jagadish, Krishna. It is a very practical spiritual guide, actually. When we understand its essential concept, we can discern its guidelines amidst its philosophical exposition. Echoing the themes of the Upanishad, Chaitanya Charitamrita indicates that existence can be explained essentially in terms of three truths. Tattva. This can be expressed as the alternative threefold. We are familiar with the material world, wherever we are in America. And we are familiar of the soul, us, individual. And we have some familiarity about the Supreme Lord, the source of everything. We learn. So, Chaitanya Charitamrita is raising our consciousness to the level of conscious being by explaining that we are non-material spiritual beings within our bodies. By acting with awareness of our spiritual identity, when you meditate, actually you are not this body. You are meditating as a soul, conscious being. By acting with awareness of our spiritual identity, such aware action means acting with detachment from the worldly pleasure and results. Then one can become Atmaban, enriched with realization of our spiritual identity. Chaitanya Charitamrita primarily delineates Karma Yoga to raise our consciousness to the living, conscious level. And as we focus on these words, we can see that how Krishna is mercifully in Bhagavad Gita, he says that Bhakti is higher than, Bhakti Yogi is higher than all yogis. Yoginam api sarvesam madgate antaratmana saddamam bhajate jomam swame yukta tamamata. So even though 6 types of Atmaramis, directly or indirectly, they are actually connected to Krishna. How is this? Well, let's see who are the 6. First is this chapter explaining neophyte transcendentalist. So their neophyte means their relationship is not established. When you say neophyte, means the relationship is the connection. They don't see the world connected with Krishna. They don't see the living entity, other human being, other devotees are connected with Krishna. They don't see it. They don't see themselves all the time connected with Krishna. They see the deity, now they feel like, okay, I'm seeing it, I'm connected with Krishna. But when they leave the temple room or the deity's image away from it, they don't see the connection. So that's why they are called neophyte transcendentalist. Then there is another category, Prabhupada translated as absorbed transcendentalist. Means they see the connection and they always linking. Absorbed doesn't mean they're like stagnant, stuck. It can be also, but in this case, is a sequence that they are actually connecting everything. Sutre monigana iva. Krishna says this, matta paratara nannat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Though everything in this world, I am the superior, supreme controller of everything, and everything is connected. Just like you see a garland, you don't see the thread connected each flower, made it into garland. Or we see the garland. So we see the world, but we don't see the connection. If we can see the connection, then we are advancing. Then another category Prabhupada writes, one who is situated in transcendence, means they are already in the transcendental platform. They are not affected by these 3 modes of material nature. Even they can be in America physically, but spiritually they are in the spiritual world. Means they are connected with Suddha Sattva, pure goodness. And then another category is those who desire liberation. Means they are tired of this world, they are exhausted, they want to get out of it. Then the 5th category, those who are actually liberated, means they are above these 8 qualities. And then there is a number 6, one who is engaged in activities in his Swarup, constitutional position. Those who are like pure devotees. These are the 6 categories called Atmarama. And we see that this Atmarama, Mahaprabhu explained this from a different angle, different choy is added, opi is added, without it and with it, how many meanings. So Mahaprabhu gave 7 other meanings, just to make it short. And at the end, Prabhupada also writes there is 2 types of super soul worshipper. And those 2 types, each one also has 3 types of division. In other words, they are called Sagarbha. Sagarbha Yogi refers to a yogi who worships super soul in the Vishnu form. You generally typically see in the picture, 4-handed form. There's a famous verse. Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnu Shashivarna Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Ved Sarvigna Prashante. When you are burned out by this material world, you are disturbed with your relationship, with your family, with your world, with your neighbors, with your country, with your body, with your mind. You are disturbed, you are exhausted. Oh, I want to go lie down, but then you have rested a little bit, now you come. You want to look for something. Why? You are always looking for something. Why? Because you are not satisfied inside. So, at that time, you look at Vishnu's face, So wow, he's so peaceful, so self-satisfied. Just by thinking of him and touching or coming close to him, I'll become completely self-satisfied. Yes, it is the most attractive. At that time, it is most attractive. And 99% people in this world feel that way. They're burned out, they're exhausted, they're tired of the world, they're tired of this body, they're tired of their mind, they're tired of their everything, anything. So they are attracted to that super soul or Vishnu form attraction. It's natural. But then if you have everything, now you're peaceful, everything, then what do you do? If you ask that question. Of course, Prabhupada mentioned that Nigarbha worship without form. So we are not even mentioning about them, those who worship the super soul without form. They also worship Brahman or Paramatma, but without any form. And it's very disturbing. Disturbing in a sense because they never come to a solid foundation to hold on to it. Naturally, we have a tendency to possess something. I have my family, I have my children, I have my bank account, I have my country, I have my body, I have my passport, I have my house, I have my car. Something they want to hold onto, something tangible. But then when you meditate on Krishna, Super Soul, you feel like you don't need any of this. So that creates a submission, which is good. When we see Krishna's supreme controlling power, Krishna, Super Soul, it's attractive. But then, what do you do at that time? You just stay there, stuck, sitting? No, you go further. So Santa is okay, but above Santa is Daisha. When you develop a strong desire to please the personality, then your devotional service began in a pure form. Before that, devotional service is mixed. At that time, like Hanumanji says, Srinate, Janakinate, Ubhayastu Paramatmane, Tathapi Sarvasya Mama Rama Komalalochana. I know Narayan, Paramatma, Ram, they are all equal, Vishnu Tattva. But my Ram is my Ram. How can I think anybody else? Eternally I am his servant. This kind of possession takes place. So you have to give up material possession to come to surrender, by the help of Vaishnava, you make surrender. And after surrender, you develop another possession. That possession is needed. Why? Because that possession will cause affection feeling for the Lord. When you hear about Damodar Lila, the sweet pastime, what is happening in your heart? You're developing an affection. That is needed. That is eternal. That will stay. That's why Prabhupada divide this not to mix all the devotee in one level. He says the beginner, the advanced yogi who has attained perfection. And Nigarbha also same. Nigarbha means they are not thinking of the form and the others are thinking of the form. Even most of the time when we come to this Santa, where this verse is giving, the last verse given very good example by Mahaprabhu. The Atma Ramis, they're self-satisfied, like 4 Kumaras. Think of 4 Kumaras. 4 Kumaras were happy. They did not need anything. But some or other, within the heart, guided to enter into Vaikuntha. And before, they did not have any possession. They don't have any feeling for the Lord. They don't have any possession, spiritual assets or anything. They're just happy. They're happy. But when they came to Vaikuntha and they smelled the fragrance of the tulasi that offered to the Lord's lotus feet, the flower, lotus feet, caused a special fragrance enter into their nostrils. They are never disturbed, but today they felt disturbed. Now, is that you compare to the materialistic people disturbance and four Kumaras disturbance? They are not same. We need to break that disturbance. We need it. We want to get out of the material disturbance, but we need to be disturbed. After we get liberated, we want to be disturbed by the devotional service, where you will be like always busy. Prabhupada was busy. Brajavasis are busy. Mother Yashoda is constant busy. Radharani is busy. But that busy is nourishing the heart. Nourishing the heart. Everything has an origin in the spiritual world. And there's another types of tapasvi, santa also. They practice yoga, vairagya, bhagavad bhajan. What they know? That without bhakti, they cannot get mukti. So they do bhakti. For what? To get the mukti. This called tapasvi, they very vividly explained by Prabhupada also in Bhagavatam. The problem in Santa Rati of tapasvi that the attachment to the Lord will not appear in the heart. Why? Because the desire for liberation is there. So long you have a desire for liberation, you cannot get anurag or any attachment to God. Now, if somebody put a little argument, it says that without coming to the point of liberated, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, pure devotional don't begin. That is true. That concept is correct. But the understanding is that they are not two ways to look at it, that once they are liberated, they are not looking for liberation. So bhakti is available there. Pure bhakti is available there. Purity is not just a function of intention. It is also a fruit of devotion. That should be in our mind always. That purity, when we talk about purifying, we're chanting, we're trying to purify our heart. What does that mean? Purity is not just a function of intention. It is also a fruit of devotion. Bhakti Yoga seeker, Bhakti Yoga seeker, are often encouraged to strive for purity. Always we are looking to purify, to connect with Krishna simply for loving Him. Not for getting some material things from Him. But when we strive to practice Bhakti Yoga purely, we will find our intention getting contaminated or diluted by impurities such as desire for pleasure, power, praise. I want to be president, I want to be GVC, I want to be big leader, like this. Even within Bhakti school, we see sometimes those are not a good intention. Service should be the main focus. Without service attitude, we have no entrance to spiritual world. While striving to push aside such impurities, we need not let their presence dishearten us. We should remember that. That's why these teachings of Prabhupada louds as most dear to Krishna. We are approaching Krishna in knowledge for developing a relationship. In knowledge, in a sense, means we have eternal relationship. We know, we heard it from Bhagavad Gita, from Chaitanya Charitamrta, from Bhagavatam. Prabhupada says this. We have a relationship. So, we are developing a relationship of pure spiritual love. But at this moment, in knowledge, we approach Him in knowledge. And Prabhupada's teaching does not minimize those who approach Him without such pure intention. Such a loving way Prabhupada explains. It deems as pious, and magnanimous all those who approach Him whatever be their level of purity. So Prabhupada's teaching indicates that pure devotion is attained by those fully situated on the spiritual platform. And on that Brahmabhuta platform, soon, however, it assures that bhakti practice can begin by anyone from whatever level they are. And by such practice, they will gradually become purified and liberated. Purity is a fruit of devotion, we should remember, of sustained loving connection with the all-pure Lord, whose service, remembrance, dissipates all impurities. So the stipulation of purity is never meant to deter us in our bhakti practice. It is simply meant to expedite our access to the taste of pure devotion. We cannot wish away the impurities in our heart. We will have to work them out of our heart. And the work of purification often requires time. Like Prabhupada gave an example. A girl wants a baby. Well, she has to first get married, serve the husband, get pregnant. She has to wait for 9 months or 10 months, whatever the time is. It's not like, oh, I want a child, I want to get married and get the child tomorrow. No, everything has a time. Maturity required. So by focusing less on the need for purity, more on Krishna's magnanimity in accepting us however we are. Sometime recently I had one devotee, he was giving all the complaint that he has in his life was going. I said, are you done with it now? Explaining me about? He said, yes. I said, explain me about Krishna's greatness. He said, what do you mean? I said, either you explain or I'm going to explain. I would like to hear from you. So he gave few words and then I started discussing. And after 2 hours, he said, wow, Krishna's greatness is unbelievable. I said, focus on that, then focusing on your big problem. He said, I can see Krishna can literally help me. I said, yes, that is the point. Try to focus on Krishna's greatness instead of looking your big problem. Then you will see this big problem actually will eventually dissipate. Sometime in our spiritual path, we don't give enough attention to Krishna. We focus more on our day-to-day problem. As a result, we hang on to the day-to-day problem. But those are focusing. It's not that, I used to work like every day. I still do. Not that kind of work, but work every day. 10 to 6. After 6, I would go somebody's house for a evening program. And before that, I would spend 4 to 9 in the temple. So we are busy, just like Kormis are also busy. Everybody is busy. But where we focus, absorb our consciousness to, will determine what our outcome is. So by focusing less on the need for purity, more on Krishna's magnanimity in accepting us however we are, we can become encouraged and energized in our bhakti practice. Such practice will purify us efficaciously. For sure, granting us entry into the supremely sweet mellow of pure love. So this is very important, that when we realize our deepest identity, we fulfill our highest destiny. This is necessary to understand that. What is the time now? 11:57. I will, let's see, there's so much things to say, but I will end here. Rather, I want to hear if anybody has any question or correction or clarification or few more minutes discussion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Mata.
See if I can form this question properly. You know, on the one hand, you were just now explaining that Krishna is so magnanimous that he accepts us from, wherever stage we are at in our spiritual journey. So we should not focus on our disqualifications. So I'm just trying to reconcile that fact with the fact that, we are also expected to, put so much effort into this process. I guess a person can ask, if Krishna accepts me from, whatever position I'm at, then why should I try so hard,
So you are asking that may put someone into laziness?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
You can say, well,
yeah.
what's the point? If he's so magnanimous, then why should I bother trying so hard?
That's true. It can be raised, that question, but it is very nicely can be understood that sun is Krishna's love for us. Is, if you compare, there's a verse says Krishna Surya Sama. So just imagine Krishna's love is like a sunlight. Sun is always shining. It does not have any discrimination who sun should give or who should not get the sunlight. Now, in order for me to live for love or experience that Krishna's love, I need to get up and open the blind. That sun will not do it. That I have to do. If I don't have that motivation that, I need the sunlight, or I don't care, I'll stay in darkness, that is the individual free will or choice that individually we have. If someone, there is a happiness in ignorance, happiness in passion, happiness in goodness, and happiness in Krishna consciousness. We are talking about happiness in Krishna consciousness, where Krishna is preeminently lovable and he is magnanimous, definitely is there, for no question. But for me to experience, I have to thrive. Now, if someone, some way or other, comes in contact with that Krishna's magnanimity, I can tell you right now, he will become helplessly desperate to please the Lord. Because when we talk about Krishna, that's just one quality, Jiva Goswami Pad writes, Bhajaniya Sarva Sadguna Vishishta. Krishna is the supreme loving person whose quality is so attractive, so enchanting, so endearing, it's incredible. The Jiva Goswami Pad, I'm trying to translate that verse, Bhajaniya Sarva Sadguna Vishishta, inspiring that one cannot resist but worship such a person. So the motivation to serve him is to pursue first in the beginning to a point where your connection is there, then you will not be able to resist yourself not to please him, serve him. In the beginning, one may have the idea, Krishna is magnanimous, I don't have to do anything. But still, with the association of other Vaishnavas around, he or she will come to a point where he will or she will see that Krishna's those loveliness is incredibly inspiring. And you won't be able to resist not to worship him or not to love him. To come to that point, good association is required. Good association is required. Sometimes, when someone is well fed, he may not feel hungry. But someone is also who has a diarrhea or sickness with the food also may not feel eagerness to eat. But there's a big difference. The difference is the person who is sick with the diarrhea, he may not feel hungry because his body is like, with the food, it became so sick of it. You may glorify about the food and the person thinking, I just can't feel for that nice, delicious meal because his body is sick with the food. So in that case, we have to help that person to get out of the sickness. And then you'll see natural, when he becomes normal, he'll be crazy for delighting in the food. It makes sense?
Yes, very much so. So Krishna's magnanimity is really, according to the analogies that you use, is that his magnanimity is that he makes his mercy available to us, but we have to make some effort to get it. Not that he will force it on us.
Correct.
Correct. Actually, one thing that occurred, one question you reminded me of when you brought in that, sunlight analogy. That analogy is often used to explain that Krishna's why should we work so hard to take care of our basic needs? He is nourishing even the birds and the animals, so what to speak of us? Krishna is nourishing everybody, so we need not make over endeavors, I guess, to take care of our basic needs. So whenever that example is used, I always think first of, people who are starving, And so when we see such people who are malnourished, starving to people, children dying, it doesn't seem like that example applies there. So can you explain that?
You mean on the physical level that malnourished and people die?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I did one time meet a person who was actually photographing the National Geography.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they came to our place to buy things. Anyway, many years back, and I gave him a Bhagavad Gita. Was a very nice gentleman, and he was confronting while I was explaining that people do not die from the under eating. People die because of the wrong eating. That when somebody is desperately hungry, they eat whatever is available. Is it dirty, disease, sick food, horrible things they just eat. In Africa, it's proven like that. Out of starvation is not that many people die, but out of wrong food, they do die more. See, we have to look at from many angles also, that Krishna does provide maintenance, but he does not freely provide you desire fulfillment. Desire fulfillment in a sense that, the difference between bare necessity versus pleasure, enjoyment. Just like this Indian gentleman, he was saying, what will be the difference? I said, you need dal and 2 chapati. So why not you just eat dal and 2 chapati every day? Are you not happy with it? He said, yeah, I will be okay. I said, but then why you ask for kart sabji, gulab jamun and all this? Well, I want to enjoy that too. I say, oh, so you want luxury. Then you have to pay for it. Bare necessity is maintained for everybody. There is no question by Krishna. But we are not satisfied as a human being. There is many things to consider. See, human being is the problem. It's nothing problem with the animal or other creatures, plants or trees. The problem starts with human because human is given a special intelligence to get out of this cycle of birth death. But when they don't use it, they use that asset, high intelligence, for exploitation. And you heard that example. When a sack of rice is on the street, Prabhupada gives that example. Some birds come, takes whatever can eat and fly away. Other animal, I saw it actually. Other animal, they come and eat the grain as much they need and they go. Nobody takes it with them. But human come, he take the whole sack. He may need only 5 handfuls, but he will take the whole bag. Why? Because this idea of higher intelligence misuse is become exploitation. So yes, proper management is required. Krishna supplied everything, but exploitation will be there. That's why there is a problem with political field and all others. That's one angle to look at it, that mismanagement. Another angle to look at it, that every soul has a particular karma to be born. Like Bill Gates' daughter, born same moment, same second, same minute. 2 girls also born in Bangladesh. One girl's father, the New York Times put this one time. The father of that girl in Bangladesh, they don't have any money or anything. He begs people by singing door to door and he gets some alms. And he sustains. So question comes, why one girl born in a place where there is no food? If there is a rain and flood tomorrow, there won't be any food. But another girl born here with the silver spoon or gold spoon in Bill Gates' house, who has plenty of food, he can probably own the supermarket for himself, for herself. So this is also, we have to consider that karma is also creating a particular soul to be in a particular region for particular time to go through this. Why? Because they, just like if I touch my finger in a fire and now I am feeling pain with the blister and little pain, and if you say, well, you should not have put in the fire, that knowledge is good, but it's too late. I already did. Now, is there any way you can get rid of the pain? No. You can give the medicine to bring it down, but the pain is still there. Now, if you say, why he's suffering with this fire, pain from the fire? Well, it's my misuse of free will. I cannot blame anybody. So in one sense, everybody has a karma, but as a devotee, we should be helping. That's why Food for Life is introduced. Prabhupada says, wherever the temple is within 10 miles, nobody should go hungry. But that is the biggest act that not only food, is a prasadam, that actually they're delivering those souls. So many angles to look at it from that angle. But by the way, I just want to tell you one thing. One of our Acharya gave a very nice conclusion that hungerness, starvation is not the biggest problem in this world. The biggest problem is actually in the world is the hungerness or starvation of the heart. They are hungry for love. They want to feel loved and they want to have a relationship, reciprocate. This is the biggest starvation in the world actually. Not the food, not physical. I mean, I did research. I'm not just telling you the philosophy. I did research. I even got involved with a non-profit organization because I was doing Food for Life for ISKCON in Mayapur sometime. And I see this, that yes, the biggest starvation in this world is that, proportion to poor and rich. A poor person may be facing challenges of absence of food on time. But what about the rich man who is suffering 10 times more than him, even though he is rich, but in his heart he's craving, but he got hurt by relationship or something, and he's like miserable, he's suicidal. And so then when you compare the suffering, actually suffering is nothing to do with poor and rich on a physical level. It is the existence to feel nourished in the heart is lacking. And that cannot be solved by any other means except Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna consciousness deals with the constitutional level of the soul, physical food can minimize the problem, temporary problem of physical body, but the soul's suffering will still remain. You know, I don't know how much you have studied on ghosts. The ghosts suffer million times more than the human being. But we cannot see, so we cannot, our heart does not go for it. Oh, I don't know how they are suffering. I can tell you hours and hours of stories of ghost world, how much they suffer, our Shastra explains. And it's horrible life, horrible life. But there is a reason why they are there. Detention center, or you can say prison, because they abuse. You know, when you rent a house to someone and they break the wall, they damage your house, I mean, how would you feel? So I gave you, to take care and you pay rent. And imagine if you give them a free rent instead of money free, and they damage and finally they burn the house. You think you will have it like easily forgiving that, or you think they should learn a lesson that they should appreciate when they got such a nice gift? Human body is extremely rare. When we don't appreciate that God has given such a beautiful body, we don't utilize it, we commit suicide, they should get that kind of reawakening. I'm sure you heard that in deep desperate situation, human being inquire something that they never would inquire if that desperate situation was not created for them. And those inquiry actually leads them to spiritual life. Majorities, always. I'm not saying everybody should go through this, but this is my view.
Well, when it comes to that, I just feel like if a person is that intensely despondent, I find it kind of hard to blame them, because if you're suicidal, your pain must be so intense that to blame them for wanting to get rid of their body, it almost seems like so not compassionate.
Cruel. Yes, I understand. You know, I had a place in Gainesville, Florida. And before I moved here from San Diego, there was one man, Mr. Livingstone. It was in the news, and I remember I didn't like it when I came there. We were thinking of moving here after 9/11 incident. And this young man, a college student, Gainesville is a college town, he killed, everybody knows in the town, that he killed 7 girls. He raped them, and he knew them, but he raped each of them, and he cut their head off and took the head in the freeze. And finally, of course, he got arrested, and he got life sentence, and at one point, the lady who was working in our shop, she asked this question. Now, how he is going to be normal? Why he didn't even feel that there's anything wrong he's doing? Now, if he is put into position like this, you know, depressed, and then he becomes suicidal, then he get a training where suffering will wake him up that it is harmful to hurt someone. If I pinch my finger, Prabhupada said, and I feel hurt, why should I pinch another person's finger? But how am I going to learn this? So I may have to pinch my finger. Ouch, it hurts. Then I will learn the lesson that I should not hurt others. But how are you going to, because we are conscious being, consciously he has to feel that pain, that how much pain he has caused to those 7 girls, their families, and all their friends. How much pain. Even I got affected, even I don't know anything about it at that time. I was like not feeling comfortable in this town. I said, how could somebody do this? Because his consciousness went down and down and down and down, such a low level that he did not feel, like inert, did not feel any feeling that he's causing them for his own selfish motive. So these things in the material world will be always there, and they need to be rectified.
Oh, so you're saying that the person who feels that level of intense pain is due maybe to past...
Yes, for sure. For sure. There is nothing accidental. There is no such thing called accidental. Everything is calculated. The karmana daiva netrena. There is a verse in Bhagavatam that everything is arranged. Every little thing arranged. Right now I am talking, it is also permitted by Krishna. You are listening, it is also permitted by Krishna. Everything is arranged. Everything is controlled by Krishna. Everything is well sophisticated. We don't need to worry for anything. Krishna's management is wonderful. But I understand that this suffering is horrible. Yes, that's why Krishna consciousness is needed in this world, desperately needed. But not everybody can see it. That's why it's hard. You know, worse than that when someone, say, if somebody is hungry and you bring a plate of food to him, and that person say, I don't want this food. But you are hungry. Yes, I'm starving. So then eat this. No, I don't need this kind of food. This is bigger challenge than feeding them even. You follow the example?
Mm-hmm.
When we introduce them Krishna consciousness, people think this is not what they need. But yet, I mean, I tell you, sometimes I have a little crazy mentality. I go and I spend time with this professor. And I spend for a few days, here, there, 1 hour, here, and then one day we sat down and talked for 6 hours. Deep down in his heart, he is a lonely man, even though he has a family and everything. Sometimes he feel like, what's the purpose of life? I said, but you have children, you have a wife, and you have parents, you have everything. He said, yeah, but sometimes I feel like, where am I? What is going on? I can't tell this to anybody. You are the only person I'm telling you because you are coming from a different angle. and you promised that you're not going to tell anybody. I said, yeah, I won't mention your name, but I'll bring that reference. Because this is sometimes when you become very close to a completely stranger in a long run, you see that deep down actually every soul in a conditioned level, they wonder sometimes. They may have everything material. They may have everything physical. But at the soul level, they feel this unsatisfaction. They are confused. Then they try to divert. Okay, let's go watch a movie so I don't have to think about this. This loneliness is killing them. This is the biggest killer. But then you may question, who created this loneliness? It is I, the soul, who put this wall between Krishna and me in the same heart, within our heart. That ego has to come down. How the ego comes down? Krishna told to Arjuna, you bow down to me. Not that Krishna needs his bow down. He says, Sarva guya tamam bhuya sinume paramam vacho ishtosi me dhiromiti to vakshani te hitam. I'm telling you most confidential, Krishna told Arjuna. Confidential of all confidential. That think of me, bow down to me, worship me. So it seems like Krishna is demanding. But Krishna says in that sloka, no, I'm not demanding. Te hitam. Because if you bow down to me, your heart will soften. You can actually see the flow of love coming in. Unless people come to Krishna consciousness, experience this, they will stay hungry forever.
Oh, I'm so happy that you mentioned this particular thing, that, Krishna, when he asks us to bow down, it's not like some kind of ego trip, It's because I think he's trying to say that, you can only...
His ego will disappear. His false
but
ego will disappear.
Yeah, if you're humble enough to bow down means, you'll be able to see how Krishna is actually, taking care of us,
Yes.
Instead of you're thinking that you're doing everything yourself.
Yes.
I mean, if you could actually say a little bit more about this, the purport behind this bowing down, when Krishna asks us to do that, I would appreciate it.
This is a one sloka Krishna repeated twice in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
In 9:30, at the end, 9:34. Mm-hmm. And then again he repeated in the conclusion 18. Of Bhagavad Gita in 18th chapter. Mm-hmm. He repeated that. He bow down for why? Tato bhakshami te hitam means what we need on our own, we can never be able to actually calculate. And even if you calculate, even if you come to conclusion, you will come to, for an example, I'll give you a material example. On your own, you calculate, or on my own, if I calculate and go on what I need, okay, I need this, I'll be happy. If I can do this, I'll be happy. If I have this, I'll be happy. Doing list and having list. These two lists in this world are prominent, I see. Everybody, there's two types of people, I see, beside Hare Krishna. That they want to have or they want to do. That's all. They make a list in their mind every day. I want to do this, I need to go there, I have to have this. It's like also busy. So, Krishna is very affectionately saying that whatever you will achieve, whatever you are destined to get, it's already sanctioned. Worry will not produce more or less. Then why are you wasting time about worry? Then you will say, well, I cannot see it right now, that's why I'm worried. He said, because your focus is supposed to be towards me. Now, if we focus towards him by chanting his name, bowing down to him, what happened? We will have this inner connection. We will have a feeling that we could never believe how happy we are in the spiritual progress. Then those things is already destined to come. It comes on its own accord. I mean, in my own example, I'm telling you, as I'm excited to buy new house for rental, I did for a while, and now I'm winding down because I'm going towards another ashram, sannyas ashram. So it's as much headache. But the difference is, I was not depending on Krishna so much as I was increasing. Now as I'm going down, I feel this, it's like a big burden. But then I purposely, try, and I pray. I pray to Prabhupada and other acharyas and Vaishnavas here too, to help me. And by their prayers and blessings, and I see this, I can actually focus on Krishna as if nothing is big deal. And actually it is not a big deal. Things actually happen. It's selling it, automatically going, foreclose, okay, everything is done. I was like, wow. But I could not do this before. So there is some willingness to focus on Krishna is required. Otherwise not possible.
You're saying you can do now what you wouldn't have been able to do before because you what is it? You prayed for assistance or what?
Yes, because on our own is very difficult. See, like when you surrender to Krishna, it's easy, we say surrender to Krishna. But why should we surrender? That question should be attractive more than just surrender.
Mm-hmm.
What is that going to happen by surrendering? Because, like for an example, I mentioned, maybe I didn't. When you write a letter to someone, you need three things. First thing, what do we need? Generally, when you write a letter to someone, you need content. You need a content, right? What is the subject matter you want to write for?
Mm-hmm.
Then you need an address. And then you need also a carrier, envelope and stamp, and a carrier, the post office or FedEx or whatever you pay, somebody to carry this. You cannot say, I'll just write a letter. Well, I wrote the letter. Where is it? I don't know. I left it on the desk. For who? For somebody in Seattle from Florida. Well, it will never go to Seattle because it's not complete. So surrender is like this. Surrender is not like surrender. Surrender, there is an intention, there is a content, and there is a conscious choice. What am I willing to do that will bring pleasure to the Lord? What am I willing to... Okay, Lord says that all the things already destined for a human being. You cannot increase or decrease. But He can do that. So why not I go to Him instead of me trying? That will be intelligent choice, no? So like this you have to put this together. Then when you process, you say, wow, I feel more close to Krishna and Prabhupada, and at the same time material things, as it is going, it is going.
But in this letter analogy, the content is what it is that we are willing to, I guess, sacrifice. Is it?
No.
No.
Content, well, you can use that metaphor. I'm just giving a judgment. But I generally use in different angle. I say that what is that first motivation is Phalashruti. The word Phalashruti means what is there in reality. What is the reality? Prabhupada writes, reality that which distinguish from the illusion for the welfare of all beings. Well, first I have to come to that point. Krishna is reality, but what is that reality? And then question is how the surrender process actually acts. There's a sixfold. In the wall in your house,
there is an electric wire between the wall and the exterior wall.
Mm-hmm.
But all the wire has no access except the outlet. So if you want to get power, you have to hook up to that outlet.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, well, wire are everywhere, why can't I just get the power from anywhere in the world? Right? There is no outlet. So there has to be access. What is the access? Access is that we take shelter of holy name. So you chant. And you say, okay, this is happening right now. I cannot control, and this is giving me pain. How do I divert it? So you go through the 4 breakdown. Surrender is like, you have to maintain a belief that Krishna will protect. But how do you maintain a belief? That's the question. If you don't maintain the belief, that protection will not be there. You will not see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if I don't put in the outlet, I will not see the illumination of the lamp. You may say, well, Krishna is everywhere, Krishna knows everything. That logic is not applicable. Because water is made of hydrogen and oxygen. 2 molecule hydrogen, 1 molecule oxygen. Okay. Now, if you go outside, you are very thirsty in a summer day, and somebody say, what's the matter? I'm so thirsty. Oh, but the water is a formula is H2O. Open your mouth, try to get those air, and they are the origin of the water, from subtle to gross. Now, if you keep on trying, you'll never quench your thirst. Now, somebody will put a logic, but Prabhu, this H2O made this water you giving. So why it will not work? Well, that logic is not applicable. Why? Because it's not in a concentrated form. Somebody has to make the concentrated form. You don't have a power to make that concentrated form from the air. So similarly, the surrender. Oh, I think my phone is dying.
Uh-oh.
The ear. Let's see. Maybe now it's okay for now.
You said
so
the
my
faith
point
is like an outlet, right? Our faith that
yes,
Krishna's
yes,
protection is
very
there.
good. So we have to take shelter of chanting. At the same time, we have to believe that he will protect. This maintaining this belief is the most crucial point.
Mm-hmm.
And you may say, how do you develop this? From the association, because there are devotees who are always seeing this. That reality, they see it. Even in America, they see that reality. By their association, we can also start seeing that reality.
You said that maintaining the faith is the crucial point, but how would you connect that to the chanting?
That chanting will take care of my problem. That doesn't mean I'm not talking about laziness. You do your job. As for the result, you depend on Krishna. What does that mean?
Okay, so expressing faith in the form of the chanting.
Correct.
Mm.
Just like Prabhupada says, you have brought me here, whether it's a failure or success. Prabhupada didn't say, oh, make me successful. He says, use me, please. He's praying. In his writing, you will see that song that Prabhupada wrote in the Jaladuta boat, ship. That whether it's a failure or success, but engage me as the instrument. You have brought me here for a purpose. Please engage me, my Lord. I cannot give them anything, but you can give them. You can use me. You can engage me. So we do our job, whether success or failure, it's up to Krishna.
Yeah, doing our job, that's the expression of faith.
Yes, very good. You got it. Very good.
But, I still, I was really liking that letter analogy, but I didn't understand the analogy. The content, the carrier, the address, those things were analogous to what?
Well, give an example. Say, give an example like say, you want to chant from, say you want to learn some slokas. And you are praying that, how do I do it? Now when you are, say, I get up at 3 o'clock. Okay, I can get up at 2:50 instead of 3, 10 minutes before. Will that jeopardize my whole day tiredness? Probably not. For 10 minutes it will not. But if I say 1 hour, it may. So something has to be measurable, calculatable, achievable, something like that. So then you pray that, my Lord, I want to get up at 2:50 and please give me that impetus to sustain that stability. So every day you read one sloka a few minutes and the translation, and you memorize and go back and forth, translation and the sloka, translation, sloka. And you do 10 minutes. And whole day you think about it. And then after some time, like for an example, certain thing I heard maybe 30 years back, all of a sudden I remember those sloka from Mayapur, 40 years back even, that I was surprised. So Krishna, the content is always there, but the access was not there. So how did the access happen? Oh, because I'm now eager to serve him. And when I need in order to serve, you need certain things to bring. You know, if you want to serve someone, you have to see what he needs. And can you get those things in time? And then you have to prepare and serve it. And then even to serve, you need so many things. Like for an example, like that example, you remember other day we discussed that if you want to serve a nice plate of prasadam, make sure the plate is clean. Make sure the person who is serving the prasadam is also well dressed, not like a dirty, filthy, runny nose.
Oh.
And oh yeah, no, it happens sometimes.
Oh.
And even though food is delicious, prasadam, but because that scenery created, you feel like not.
No appetite.
And then the place. Yes, exactly. So you getting. So and then the place also you eating, it's like a nice, clean, sattik. So it's not only the prasadam, but it's like so many other. These are like a content, like all these things together. Then your attitude, who is cooking, what the attitude of the person who is cooking. And then when you're offering, what is your intention? Okay, Krishna, if you eat, then we can enjoy this. Well, that's not a good, actually. You expect Krishna to eat. If Krishna leaves something behind, then you can take remnants if he does not. But generally, idea is in the beginning that when we cook, sometimes, okay, this is we'll have for lunch today. But is that for Krishna or for us? So many things, like you can use that metaphor for many analogy in your life, day to day. Okay, to write a letter, you need an address, you need a content, you need an envelope and carrier. So how this happened to the surrender?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to surrender, but surrendering means what am I? Who is surrendering and what for? So the content has to be very clear. And then who I am surrendering to? Krishna. Why? You're writing the letter to a person. Why? Who is this person you're writing the letter? Who are you surrendering? Why you want to surrender to him? What is the supremacy of Krishna? What is the beauty of Krishna? What is the loveliness of Krishna? That has to be there. The person you're writing for a very important letter, that person has to be important in order to respond to your letter. So Krishna's identity has to be also very nicely ascertained before we surrender. It's not like, okay, I'm just going to chant, I don't care about anything else. Well, it will take a long time. Because we are conscious being. Conscious being means at the core of our existence, we have a thinking, awareness, and feeling. We cannot whisk away those things. This is what we are made of. So those things have to be added to that.
And then the carrier.
And then the carrier is Vaishnava, Guru, the holy name, our bowing down, offering flower, offering lamp in Kartik. This can carry. But nobody see, they see I'm offering lamp, but nobody see what my intentions while I'm offering lamp. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny thing. There's some people that sometimes, even I used to do, sometimes you offer a water to the Tulasi, you don't even look at her. You're just offering the Tulasi, this is like a ritual, and then they bow down and go. Excuse me, she is a person. Mm-hmm. She is a divine connector. How can we just ignore? But she is so merciful, she forgives us. She doesn't notice those things. But if we appreciate little bit, Tulsi Maharani will be smiling at us. Hey, you are ready? You're advancing very good. You're noticing I'm here. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. You can have that reciprocation. So just, but at any cost, any level, if somebody just writes something even what they don't even know what they're writing, it's still better than not writing at all. You know, one Mataji gave one example to Giriraj Maharaj one time. He said, Maharaj, if I don't associate with holy name, then there is no offense to holy name. That was a very funny way she put it. She put it actually better way than I'm just giving a short answer. She said, if I don't chant, then there is no offense of chanting. Maharaj, that's very interesting. You even thought that. But what is the purpose of life then? What is the purpose of life? That has to be ascertained. See, you have to come to this conclusion. We'll conclude with this. That we live for love. The reporter asked Prabhupada, what is the purpose of life? Prabhupada said, happiness. That's a simple answer. And the reporter was so amazed. He said, yes, wow, very good answer. So we live for love. Jiva Sukhannishi, this verse Prabhupada gives. Pleasure seeking by nature. We cannot give up. So in calculation of all philosophy, all theology, all religion, any angle you go, that this Krishna consciousness proven is the highest happiness a soul can perceive and live with eternally. So that should be that's why Mahaprabhu says, Prema Pumartha Mahan. The goal of life is pure love. Goal of life is not Krishna actually. It is the love for Krishna. There is a fine print. Love for Krishna and Krishna is not as goal. Krishna, the conception of Krishna will bind us towards him. But loving towards Krishna is the goal. That is very fine print. Loving sentiment. And love you develop by the association of those who have love for Krishna.
Oh my goodness, Prabhu, you have to make the distinction, please, between that fine print, between binding us to Krishna and loving him. What is the difference?
If you are hungry and your mother gave you a banana, versus your mother is not there, you are in a strange place, and this guy looks very weird, and you have a lot of jewelry, he looks like a thief, and you say, I'm hungry. He said, I'll bring you some, and he brings some food. Now you look at him and you will have a suspect, this guy wants to rob me because of my jewelry. But he's solving your problem of hungerness. Will you have a doubt in the food, or you'll just eat it?
Yeah, no, I would not. I would be hesitant to take the food.
Exactly. So the feeling is more important. Everybody approaches God. but favorable attitude to pleasing is the key. But when mother gave, you don't doubt. Because you know that mother always loves. She will never give anything that will hurt me. So something like this. The person who is offering to Krishna, who is, say, I'm going to give myself to Krishna. Okay, are you giving voluntarily? You know, I don't know if you know, there is a rice called Govinda Bhog. And there is a different kind of rices there in America, basmati rice and all this come from India. There is one type of rice called Govinda Bhog, and Prabhupada gave an example. One Brahmana, he was very miser. He does not offer Krishna cooked rice. He eat cooked rice, but he offer like a little raw rice. That's it. So one time he was collecting so much rice from different families, and on the way back home, it was so much stormy weather that his rice bag almost fell, and then the what do you call those, whirlwind, pick up that rice bag and it's like going in a circle in the air. And at that time he said, "Oh Lord, this is yours. This is I'm offering to you." So, and then he called out, "Oh Govinda, Govinda, for your bhoga. This is your bhoga. This is your bhoga." So when he became helpless, he offered it. Otherwise, he would never offer that much rice to Krishna. Never. So now question is, but he did offer, and that day, how can he say, no, but that was out of his control. So since that time, that rice became Govinda Bhog, but it is not really pleasing Krishna. This is like a helpless condition. We offer something to Krishna on a condition. You know, somebody say, I love you if you do this for me. You know, in America they say, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Well, that's not really pure love, Krishna says to the gopis. And there is another group of people that whether you love or you don't love, they don't care. And they are same, indifferent. And then there is another group of people that you keep on loving, but that person never appreciates sometimes may not, most of the time don't care, but still you never give up your love. That is close to the pure love. That is a mother has for the child. Not necessarily children appreciate everything mother do, but mother never give up loving the children. Similarly, Krishna's love is like this. Krishna's love is like he never gives up to help us. But when we reciprocate, we get benefit. So when Krishna says that, okay, you don't want to develop love, but you want to just give me something, but not developing love, just to get out of the karma reaction. Okay, I offer this so I don't have to suffer, go to hell, I'll just offer it. You offer it, but don't have a love. Then Krishna says, okay, I stay also like a statue, I don't eat. It's for your benefit. I'll take it for your benefit. It's not I need it. But then if you feel so much love for the Lord, then Lord also become hungry. Then he eats. That time the reciprocation is established. At that time, from that moment on, Krishna is really hungry to have an exchange with you. That time you are called associate of the Lord.
So the fine print the fine print is approaching Krishna for selfish needs versus approaching him out of love. That's the fine print.
Yes. Yes. You know, the conception Prabhupada gives in our conception. So much to talk about it.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
No, I was saying that there's so much to talk about that I'm talking to myself that how much can we discuss now? We should end. It's almost like going. But I'll end with this, that Prabhupada says our approach to Krishna in a loving way, in a sense that we want to be a family member of the judge. God is like a judge, and all other conception of God that given so far until Mahaprabhu came is that you meet the God in the court, but you cannot meet the God in the court by yourself. You need a lawyer. So the Messiah or different founder, Acharya, or different guru comes from different sampradaya. They represent like a being an advocate, take you to the court. Now you saw the judge and he will judge you. And you have a relationship, you saw the God. But relationship is not really established as a family relationship. But that judge also has a personal lifestyle. He has a family. So when we talk about Krishna consciousness, we are talking about not the God in the court aspect of awe and reverence. We talk about the judge in his house. We become a member. You know, in the court, even a father of the judge cannot call the judge, hey, you are my son, give me water. They will not allow. The father cannot act like that. But in the house, he can call, my son, bring me a glass of water. He may be judge in the court, but in the house, he will bring a glass of water with a feeling. Here is go, daddy, with a glass of water. So our approach is a very based on pure love and trust and healthy relationship with the Lord. Soothing, nourishing, harmonious living. So it's almost 2 hours now. Thank you for asking all these points.
Thank you for your wonderful, wonderful answers as always.
Is there anybody online? We close or how do we proceed?
Okay. So if no one else has any questions or comments, we can end the call. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much for the very inspiring class, and thanks to everyone for the discussion. We can now end the call. Vancha kalpatarubhescha krapa sandobhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Nandakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Praise God, Govinda ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice class. Hare Krishna.